Welcome to Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year. It's my last week on the road meeting this year's nominees. And it's time for those businesses that matter so much in these uncertain times, the industry category. I'm on the last leg of a journey around Ireland, meeting our brightest and best entrepreneurs. On my return, the judges would select the final category winner in this year's contest.
There are some solid businesses here producing really sustainable results. And in this environment, that's fantastic.
These represent our economic recovery. This is going to employ 80% of our population.
The 8 entrepreneurs in the industry category are really important to Ireland. And the reason that they're important is that they've set up their businesses and their networks on the island of Ireland. They're creating significant jobs and sustaining significant jobs, and they are part of the future to ensure that we have a sustainable economy going forward.
As in previous weeks, there's great variety in the nominated businesses in this category. And the other thing that really impresses me is the number of jobs being provided by these 8 companies. Brothers Pat and Mike Glennon run the family timber business, which began in Longford in 1913 and now includes this plant here in Fermoy. The yard takes wood from forests in Ireland and abroad and turns it into vital raw material for the construction industry.
All our products would be things like, for example, that's in your house that you don't see when the carpet is down on. For example, flooring joists, flooring boards, skirting boards, rafters, joists. A lot of the material that's behind the finished frills in it is the material that we supply.
When faced with potential ruin after the collapse of the construction industry in Ireland, the brothers refocused on the export market. They now have plants in Scotland and recently became the first timber processor in Ireland or the UK to ship timber to France.
We have 340 people employed in the group, and that's on a direct basis. We'd have a further sort of half of that, 170 people employed between harvesting and haulage. We're now, I suppose, approaching a turnover of €80 million, which is quite significant. We have 6 operating plants, half of them in Ireland and half of them in the UK. So we've diversified our product range, and we diversified the markets that we're selling into and the markets that we're operating into.
In 2007, at the height of the boom, 80% of our material here was staying in Ireland, the other 20% was going export. When we look at the figures for the first 6 months of this year, that's turned totally around about, and that's the pure demise of the construction industry in Ireland. So that's how we've redeveloped and reshaped the business to try and get over the construction downturn in Ireland.
It forced us to look further afield because we're being hammered with the exchange rate in sterling. So then we went to explore a Eurozone, and that's why we started to supply timber to France, which has been very successful for us.
We use everything that comes in here, bark, sawdust, wood chips, everything will go back out as a product in one shape, form or another.
We can grow trees in Ireland in 35, 40 years, and it takes Scandinavia 70 to 80 years to grow the same tree. So Ireland, with its climate and its soil conditions, is ideally suited to forestry. So there's a great reason why we should be planting more trees.
How do you get on as brothers and in business?
I'd be telling a lie if I said there aren't arguments. Of course there are arguments in every good relationship. Mike looks after the sales admin, I look after production and forestry, and that's very simply how we break the business down.
And in relation to succession and family succession, is that already planned, or is that something that's going to evolve as kids grow up?
We obviously look a bit older than we are, Porrick, with a question like that.
Yes, there is another generation. They're a good bit younger.
Yeah.
My daughter's 12, 13. Mike's 2 kids are
6 and 4.
So there's a little way to go
There's
yet.
a bit of training yet. I'm heading down to Clonakilty in West Cork, a town that has given its name to a range of ingredients in the world-famous Irish breakfast. Colette Toomey runs the Clonakilty Food Company, producing sausages, rashers and, of course, black and white pudding. The business has come a long way from the town butcher that Colette started running with her husband Eddie in the 1970s. The shop came with a recipe for a rather special black pudding.
Lady Joanna Bryan sold black pudding in Harrington's butcher shop in Clonakilty. She got very old. She actually told him the secret ingredients of the spices.
And this is the same Harrington's butcher shop
Yes.
that your husband bought
Yes.
the year before you got married.
Yes.
In 2005, Colette's husband, Eddie, passed away. Did you consider selling it at the time, or did people approach you?
A lot of people almost presumed it would be for sale. One person rang our secretary at one time and he said, "Is Clonakilty black pudding for sale?" And her answer was, "Yes, in shops all over the country."
What was once handmade in a town butcher's is now being produced on a far grander scale. And Clonakilty pudding is now sold throughout Ireland and abroad. But some things never change, and the recipe remains a closely guarded secret.
I can't tell you what's in the containers, but this is a cross-section of the spices that we use. I'm the guardian of the secret for the moment. A time will come when I have 3 sons when they will know, but at the moment it's just myself. Yeah, that's all I'm going to tell you. It's just steadily growing. We're the #1 selling black pudding now in the country. Well, the ingredients are all locally sourced and minced and mixed, and they're literally put into a casing or into the plastic tub as we see it, and the pudding is boiled. Well, we average about 20 tonne of black pudding in a week.
I remember, Colette, years ago I was playing hurling in university in Galway, and we were going off on the bus one morning, no breakfast, and I had 2 rings of black pudding with me in the pocket. So I started eating them at the back of the bus. The lads thought I was cracked. Joe Connolly, the famous Galway hurler, talks about madmen from Connemara eating raw pudding.
Oh, yeah?
And now you told them the secret, you told them it was already cooked.
It's already cooked, so it's quite okay to eat it.
I'm staying in Cork for our 3rd nominee and another entrepreneur making great strides in the family business. For over 50 years, the Barry Group have been a leading name in the wholesale business. Under Jim Barry's leadership, the company have opened 4 successful franchises, including Cost Cutters and Carry Out, and it all started for Jim when he was only a boy.
I can remember when I was about 9 or 10, there used to be a lady with a shop living next to us in Bantier, and I used to pop into her every Friday evening to get an order. And then on Saturday, when we got back, you'd actually bring in her stuff. Okay. And I can remember getting the order, bringing the stuff into her, and that's what actually that's one of my early memories. So it's going back a long time.
It is, yeah.
But I'm one of these people who love what I do. So it's not.
So this is not
like
work for you?
No. We would have about 12,000 different products in the warehouse, which we would deliver on a weekly basis to all our customers. I know that we dispatch about 180,000 boxes per week. We have some customers in America. If you're going to have your crunchy or your cup of Barry's tea in America, most likely it comes from ourselves. And we also supply similar type product in Australia. We load about 25 trucks a day. So every night here by 11 or 12, all the trucks are loaded and they're heading off different directions. And we're making deliveries starting at about maybe 6, half 6 in the morning all over the country. See, that's in this evening now.
It's in this evening, it's actually in goods in as we speak. So
Cost Cutter is one of our 4 franchises. Cost Cutter would be, at this stage, one of the leading franchises in Ireland. We also have got 3 other franchises. We have Quick Pick, which is aimed at smaller type stores. We have Carry Out, which would be an off-licence offering. We're developing a new product called Bilo, which is in the discount sector, which would be a low-cost offering. I like developing something new. The Bilo is the current baby. It's a great sense of achievement, a great buzz when you are bringing something new to market.
Let's go through an order and see what happens there.
We'll make you a bit of work.
Okay.
The order actually comes at you in the scanner. This order is going to this customer in Kerry here. If you scan this here, that's telling you it's the correct product.
All right.
We put this one on the trolley here. Then we go down to the next line here. So you scan that now again.
A lot of cat food and dog food going to Kerry today.
The animals well fed down there. We'll turn about 250 million this year. If one project we're looking at comes off, we hope to get to 400.
You're going to almost double in size in 2 years.
We're hoping. Changes that are happening in the market, supply chain is changing. And we're in a position to avail of the changes. So if what we're trying to do lands for us, we'll probably double our volume here within 18 months.
You know, there are so many big international players in the retail game in Ireland right now. So it's great to see someone like Jim take them on and succeed. I'm heading up to Lough now, one of the most beautiful spots in the country, to meet 2 men who prove that you can mix business with a little bit of pleasure. Friends Malcolm Bell and Dave Sullivan set up Technopath in 1997. The company operates in the clinical and food diagnostics market, manufacturing and distributing products used in a variety of critical areas, including water quality testing and blood sampling.
Hey Malcolm! Malcolm, come on in here!
Growth has been phenomenal since the company started, so Malcolm is taking a rare opportunity for a bit of downtime.
You guys, not like me, you don't have any stress. You don't look it. and no wonder. Seriously, in partnerships you can have lots of challenges. You guys are together a long number of years. What makes it work for you?
We use our strengths and we fill in our weaknesses, and I think it's worked well.
We're very close friends and have a great friendship outside of our work, which I think is key as well.
You're also involved in the whole manufacturing side of the business. Let's go up and have a look at that now.
Good idea.
And on the way, lads, we'll call to a fish and chip shop.
Excellent.
Now, don't get the wrong idea. Malcolm hasn't been spending too much time relaxing in the last few years. He and Dave have been working hard, and it's paying off.
Over the last few years in the manufacturing business, we've spent about just over 3 million to date, and we're currently spending another 1 million on equipment and facility scale-up. There've been a lot more people. We're employing, on average, probably 2 or 3 new people per quarter at the moment. It's going to continue, certainly the way the business is going. That doesn't look like it's going to slow down at all.
After recent investment in R&D, the company are now manufacturing a product that will be used by medical labs to ensure the accuracy of blood tests.
This is a very significant product because this allows us to export internationally. It's now a global market, as everybody knows. We've designed and developed and manufactured this product ourselves. We can export this all over the world. Our unique selling position to the hospital laboratory is that we can go in and provide one QC product, whereas when they're buying from competitors, they have to buy several different vials. We have taken 50% of the Irish market with this product, and now we're in 450 laboratories in the UK and Ireland. We're on 110 of those sites, so it's been a tremendous success for us.
The company as a group would be turning over about 15 million euros. We would see that next year growing to approximately 20. While the Irish market is a very good market, the population of 4.5 million, you can only achieve so much. For example, the water testing products, we have 100% of the Irish market. Every bit of drinking water that's tested for coliforms, E. coli and crypto, we have the market for. In order to meet our goals and keep the growth of the company and increase the employment figures that we want to achieve, we have to look outside of Ireland.
In part 2, I meet the final 4 nominees in this year's contest.